Hello guys, I hope all of you are feeling well. And as you know, there's a storm just a few weeks ago that hit Rakhine. So today I would like to talk about natural disaster. Oh, first of all, let me introduce to myself. My name is Bobo Misan, but most of my friends call me Bobo. Now I'm attending F6 in PD class. Now let's start. Firstly, I would like to talk about the topics for the presentation. So what is natural disaster? What causes natural disaster? And also type of natural disaster. How can we protect ourselves and other from these natural disaster? And also fact about it. Now let's go to another slide. Firstly, I wanted to talk about what is a natural disaster. It's easy. A natural disaster is even like earthquakes, flood, storms that happen suddenly and damage our property and our life. And also, it can take a lot of our lives, so it's really dangerous. So, for example, the famous disasters that happened in the history, such as the Great Galveston Storm that happened in 1900, that was an American, and also the Cyclone Nargis that happened in 2008 in Myanmar, and also the Australian wildfire that happened in 2019 and 2020, just a few years back. Sorry, and let's go to another slide. Now I'm gonna talk about what caused natural disaster. It's easy. So, firstly, the human activity. So, how can human activity cause natural disaster? Uh, okay, for my knowledge, I would say we can cause wildfire. That's one of the most easiest one. We can cause wildfire, and also from mining, we can also cause earthquakes and landslides. So, for how we can cause wildfire like that. It can cause by accident or sometimes on purpose. So I would say human activity can also cause natural disaster. Another one is lunar activity because of the lunar gravitational pull. There can be tsunamis and yeah, like that. And also pollution and global warming can also cause storms. Uh, and yeah, storms, hurricane, tornadoes, like that, and also the gravitational pull and air pressure can cause storms too, and also the tectonic shift can cause landslides and earthquakes. So here, I would like to mention that it can also caused by other natural disaster, and sometimes it depends on what type of natural disasters too. So what does that mean? An earthquake can cause tsunami, and tsunami can cause floods like that. So let's go to another slide. Now we're going to talk about type of natural disaster. So firstly, I want to talk about the most famous one, storms. I hope everybody will know storms. So let's talk about it. A storm is a disturbance in the atmosphere or air. It causes when the center of low pressure develop with a symptom of high pressure surrounding it. The type of storms such as tornadoes, snowstorms, uh, thunderstorms, a tropical storm. So in tropical storm, there are three kinds: hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoon. So now let's talk about floods. That mostly happen in Burma too. Flood is the overflowed water that usually occurs in dry places. And floods happen when water overflow into the place from rivers, lakes, sea, or even oceans. Other natural disasters can also cause floods such as tsunamis and storms. Now let's talk about wildfire. Wildfire is an unpredictable fire that burn in forests and jungles. It can cause by either human activity or nature, such as lightning activity. When a lightning strike on a tree, it can cause burning and it can burn down the whole jungle. Now let's talk about earthquakes. So earthquakes are shaking of the surface resulting from two blocks of earth suddenly slip past one another. Earthquakes can cause ground shaking, sometimes tsunamis, landslides, and ground ruptures, as you can see in the photos. So ground ruptures. And now, one of the most famous ones, tsunami. It's also the deadliest. Tsunami is a series of deadly and huge waves that can sometimes reach up to 100 feet. It can sometimes be caused by underwater earthquakes, landslides, and even volcano eruptions. Now let's talk about how we can protect ourselves and others. It's a really important topic. So firstly, I would like to talk about the I have two topics here, the things we can do and also things the government should do. So firstly, we should always check the news in social media. Also, you can check from TV and like that. And we can also prepare for the disaster, such as staying at home if there's a storm or if there's a flood. You can move from that place if have to. And also, we should educate ourselves and learn about the natural disaster, and we should always be aware and listen. We should always listen to the surrounding, and also evacuate immediately if you need it. And also, we should help each other. Another one the government should do is immediately warn people if there's a natural disaster coming, because sometimes it's unpredictable. And also, we should educate our people about preventing from natural disaster, and we should send rescue where it's needed. And also, we should teach civilians about first aid and also evacuate people if it's necessary. Now, let's talk about the facts about natural disaster. So here, there are seven facts. As you can see, there's seven clouds here. Another one and done. Okay, now let's firstly discuss about earthquake. So the largest ever earthquakes anywhere in the world was occurred in 1960 in Chile. So some of the people won't know where Chile is. You can imagine that it's beside Argentina. So most of the people will know Argentina. I hope that. So another one is the largest storm ever recorded was a typhoon Tip. It was 1,380 miles or 2,220 kilometer. So if you want to measure the storm that hit uh our country was about 400 meters. So that's mostly even more. It's even more than twice. Even twice 800. So it's even more than twice of the storm. And then in 1931, the China flood, known as the Yangtze River flood, killed nearly 4 million people, and that's one of the deadliest flood or natural disaster even happened in history. Another one is the most tsunami come from the Pacific Ocean, the place that known as the Ring of Fire. So people will say, "Where's the Ring of Fire?" If you want to know more about it, you can research it. But now I'm gonna just talk about just a simple one. Is in the middle of and Asia and America and also South America. Another one is the word disaster come from Latin, as most of the word from English come from Latin. This means bad and stir means store. Another one is Tohoku earthquake and tsunami 2011 caused most money in the history of natural disaster. And also, the largest volcano eruption was from Mount Tambora in 1815. That was one of the most deadliest volcano eruption, and the Mount Tambora is in Indonesia. So I hope all of you will understand about my presentation, and thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope all of you are feeling well, and bye bye. Have the best day.